You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. On today's episode of the podcast, we summarise day one of the first Ashes test between Australia and England from the GABBA. It's the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast, and let's get started. Let's have a look at the session-by-session breakdown of day one of the first Ashes test from the GABBA. We'll start with session number one, and the news was England won the toss and Joe Root elected to bat first in this first Ashes test at the GABBA on a green sort of looking wicket at the GABBA with overhead skies. Rory Burns was the first to go for England, first ball of the innings by an absolute beauty of a delivery from Mitchell Starc, which hit the leg stump, and Mitchell Starc got the perfect start for Australia, picking up Rory Burns, first ball of the innings for a golden duck. And that pretty much set the tone for England in the first session on day one. Soon after, Darwin Malan got out for six, caught by Kerry, who got his first ever dismissal on Test debut as a keeper for Australia, bowled by Hazlewood. The England captain Joe Root came and went. He didn't last long. He was gone for a duck. Caught Warner, bowled Hazlewood. And Ben Stokes was the last wicket to fall for England just before lunch. And his stay at the crease was a short one. And his return to international cricket wasn't a long return. He was gone for five. Caught Labuschagne, bowled Cummins. England found themselves at lunch 4 down for 59 after 26 overs. So in a bit of trouble, England, after the first session at lunch. We head into session number two, and that's where it started to fall apart for England, and they were eventually bowled out for 147. Hamid was the first to go, caught Smith, bowled by Cummins for 25. Pope and Butler brought up the first 50 partnership for England of the innings, 52 they added for the sixth wicket. Josh Butler soon went after for 39, caught Carey, bowled Starc. Ollie Pope followed him back to the pavilion for 35, caught Hazlewood, bowled Green. Ollie Robinson, his stay at the crease wasn't long. He was gone for a duck, caught Carey, bowled Cummins. Mark Wood didn't stay long. He was gone for 8, caught Harris, bowled Cummins. Chris Woakes was the last man to be dismissed for England, out for 21, caught Hazlewood, bowled Cummins. And Pat Cummins took 5 for 38 for Australia in 13.1 overs. Pat Cummins' first 5-wicket haul as Australian captain. He bowled superbly. England at tea were all out for 147 in 50.1 overs. Not great after winning the toss and choosing to bat first. Being bowled out for 147 has definitely put them back in this first Ashes test. Session number 3, we didn't see any play in the last session of the day on day one due to rain. The rain came down as expected and forecast. Unfortunately, there was no possibility of having any play in the last session of the day, which brought an end to the day's play. So that is the session-by-session breakdown on day one of the first Ashes test at the GABBA between Australia and England. What can we expect from both teams heading into day two? Well, I think it's pretty straightforward for both teams. I think for Australia, they'll be looking to bat once in this test match. And looking to get a big first innings total, looking to put pressure on England in the second innings. I think for Australia, it's pretty straightforward, really. With weather around at the GABBA, a possibility of showers and rain, Australia would like to score runs quickly at a quick rate, get past England's 147 in the first innings, and look to bat once and bat big in this first test match. If they can do that, they will put England under pressure in the second innings. So the plan for Australia headed into day two is simple. Look to be patient with the bat, look to score runs, build partnerships, do the basics with the bat. If they can do that, then they're on their way to batting big in the first innings and looking to win this test match by a comfortable margin. For England, it's simple. They've got a brand new ball. The pitch has still got a bit of tinge of green grass on it. There are going to be some overhead conditions, and that will suit England. But England have to use those conditions, and they can't waste the new ball. So for England on day two, they need early wickets. They need early wickets. If they don't get early wickets and Australia get in and their batsmen score big runs, It's going to be a long day in the field for England. So what they need to do is to bowl good lines and lengths, be consistent, create pressure that way, and hope Australia makes some mistakes and get a few wickets. But it's going to be very crucial. The first hour of the first session on day 2 for England is going to be very crucial for the ball. If they take wickets early, put Australia under pressure, then they're back into this match. If they don't do that, this match is going to slip away from them, and Australia are probably going to win this game easily. So it's going to be very important for England to start well on day 2. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get the latest episodes of the podcast, and like and share our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Until next time, keep safe, and bye for now.